Hey everyone, this is Eric back with Auto Replay Man, and I'm testing out some videos because I think either the mic that's on my camera is off, because like after playing that pick and pull video, I noticed that it sounds like scratchy. I had to turn the volume up, so do have a microphone. I need to go ahead and charge it, and I'll call pick and pull. Well, not pick and pull. I'm call COPART in Tallahassee, Midway, Florida, and see. I know I got the vest and everything like that. See, they got a jump box. I have about 6 or 7 cars I would like to go take a look at, probably either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm gonna go do it, man. Found out one of my buddies, man, that taught me about cars years ago back in college, man. He actually passed away, had a heart attack, and it's unsettling, man. And that's kind of what got me into cars. I just really ain't had a lot of time, you know what I'm saying? Like, you haven't really seen the type of work that I can do because I don't have my shop. I don't have shop tools and all that snap. But anyway, I wanted to talk about it was like a 2004 Mercedes SLC 320, had the V6, and it's one of the cars that I bought, when I first kind of started the YouTube channel, and I bought it sight unseen. I think I bought it, it was at the Jacksonville Copart. And when I looked at it, pictures looked good. It was all clean and everything like that. So I just went and bought it because it was a good deal, right? And from what I can tell, just looking at the pictures, it looked like it needed a front bumper, right? So I went ahead and, used a broker, Ride Safely. I bought the car, paid the broker fees, and I paid for a transport, like $200 from Jacksonville to Tallahassee. It's like a 2-hour drive to ship the car, because I was shipping cars directly to the house. It was just, I think, right after my daughter was born, so I was trying to make money really fast, not really thinking, because the year before, I was actually looking at every car and checking them out, and I was making better buys. So it is always recommended to look at the vehicle, unless it's just like immaculate low mileage vehicle, you know what I'm saying? But always try to look at the vehicle, look at the body, look underneath, crank the engine up, drive the car, see how it shifts, see how it brakes, do the lights work, do the windows work, you know what I'm saying? Is the interior good, you know what I'm saying? Like, does the suspension, is it tight, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things you need to check out. So anyway, I had went and bought this car, 'cause I was buying like 2 cars or 3 cars at one time, and I ain't had the opportunity to buy like this Ford Mustang, man. It would have been mint, dude. It was a beautiful car, and it would have cost me like $12,000. I should have bought it, but I was scared to make the plunge. I talked to one of my buddies down in Orlando. He's like, man, that car's gonna be expensive, and I should have just bought it. I should have taken the lunge to buy it. But anyway, slowly but surely, I think we're gonna be able to build this channel since it is monetized now. I think with the videos coming out, I'll do some Copart walk around videos, make some pick and pull, and I'll make some videos about, different parts on the car, how they work and stuff like that. And I think it'll grow, to the point. I'll probably make some storage videos. I'm probably going to do a lot more on the storage side. I need to get more into marketing on that. That's easier for me, because basically I just meet somebody, they park it, I'm done, I get paid, you know what I'm saying? And I like that versus going to look at a car, drive it, buy it, pay for tax and title, and have money actually invested into it. But anyway, it's something to look at, you know what I'm saying? But I had bought this '04 Mercedes SLK, is a white one. I had bought 2 of them. One I had got from Miami, but this one I actually got from Jacksonville, and bought it sight unseen, had it shipped over. And when it got to the house, I was like, oh, okay, it's a clean, paint was in good shape. Interior was a little ragged out, like the seat, like the driver's seat. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Didn't really see it in pictures, but didn't really think much of it. Lo and behold, if you take a look at the series of how the YouTube channel started, this car was a disaster. It was an actual flood car. And at the time, there was an auction, there was a site where you could actually do research on them. It's called autoauctions.io. And if I would have had taken the time to look at it, I would have seen the previous listing where the car was actually in a flood. It was damaged, So when I bought it, and I didn't know that from Copart, whenever you buy a car, I think you have 3 days to return it. I could have returned the car, paid the shipping, would have been out $400, whatever. It would have been better to lose that, but that's how the channel started, so whatever. But so long story short, I tried to work on this vehicle. I had bought like 2 or 3 other SLK. I had like 230s and 320s and stuff. I had a burgundy one that drove great. I mean, it just hauled tail. Had another white one that me and my son fixed. I think the somebody put in a wrong type of battery and it shorted out a bunch of fuses. Replaced the fuses, got it running. And I think there was like 3 of them that we had. So this particular white one was in flood. So like the whole inside had like a moldy smell. Like when I got into it, like the whole floors are rusted because it wasn't that it just got wet. It had been sitting wet. So, and it was just like, you get a flood car, if it gets wet, that's one thing. You know, if it's like, I think they say if it's fresh water, you're okay. You know, if it just gets wet, you can dry it out, right? If it doesn't corrode all the electrical connections, stuff like that, ECU, stuff like that. The salt water is what kills it, right? From what I understand, because it corrodes all the metal. It builds corrosion, right? And you can look at Tavares. He's doing the P1, McLaren P1, and all the work that you did. For the amount of work that I did on the car, I learned a lot about the Mercedes, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for that, because I could go buy a Mercedes 230 or 320, and I know enough about it to get them running. They're cool cars, especially 230. They're supercharged. They're fun to drive. And when you get one where the top drops down, I love it, man. They're quick little cars. That burgundy one that I had, man, I got it up to about 80 miles per hour pretty quick, and it kind of scared me. So that's when I sold it. It was giving me butterflies, and like I was going to get in trouble with it. So I knew at that point to sell it. You know, I didn't want to wreck the car or hurt myself. You know what I mean? So you gotta be safe in cars. You gotta know when you are pushing your limit. And I was pushing my limit, you know what I'm saying? So I had fun with the car. Me and my wife took that burgundy car. I'm talking about the burgundy car, you know, out of town. You know, we went different places, whatnot. But this white one, man, what ended up happening was I kind of looked at it, like, oh, I don't want to fool with this right now. I should have called COPART. I didn't know I could have returned it. Just would have ate $400. But I put it in the back of my property, let it sit, and that made it even worse. And slowly but surely, I would work on it, you know, from time to time. I fix, I think it was like it needed a speed sensor. Because when I first crunk it up, it wouldn't drive, or wouldn't shift, because it was in limp mode. So I fixed the rear passenger speed sensor, then it shifted. Now I think I ended up putting maybe a fuel pump in it, and I think I ended up redoing the top. I ended up trying to sand the doggone metal, and painting it. And man, I did all kind of stuff in this car. It's kind of getting going. So it stuck with me for like a year. It was like a project car that I was like rebuilding, and it just I didn't have the shop, didn't have the money. Shouldn't even rebuilt it. So eventually I got to the point where I was just like, I'm just done with it. You know what I'm saying? I've done enough work to it. I was driving it, hearing the work. I drove it to work, but it just needed more work than it was needed. You know what I mean? She didn't even try to rebuild it. I should have just sent it back to the auction, $800 to $400, and said heck with it. So anyway, long story short, I sold the parts because I fixed the top in it, so the top would go up and down. The hydraulic chop would work. I put it in, but I took it back out to get my money out of it, and I sold different parts to get my money out of the car. So I got like $2,000-$3,000 out of the car, like the money I had put in it, and then I ended up putting the car up for sale, and it might have been on Facebook or Craigslist, I can't remember. And I had like 2 people interested, and one was a shop, an actual shop. The guy said he had a shop in a truck and trailer, and then the other 2 were 2 guys. And just because they were closer, I took their money. I should never have done this. The guy took the car, and he was like, he had a shop. He had a storage unit. He was going to work on it. Yeah, that's what it was. That was close by my house. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I don't care. Take the car. In Florida, the Florida title for automobiles, you have the portion where you put in all the information for the car, and then I will sign it as a seller, and then the guy I sold it to, the purchaser, was signing it, right? Well, there's another portion where whenever you have sold this car, you do your bill of sale, you know what I'm saying? And there's another portion that you're supposed to mail into the DMV that says that you have a record of sale, right? That you sold a car. Well, I got busy with kids, cars, whatever, work. I didn't turn that portion in, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty good about doing paperwork, but I just didn't do that for that car. And car's gone, guy's working on it. One time he called me and I kind of helped him with one little thing. I was like, dude, you probably just want to part it out, because the parts on the car were worth more than the car was worth trying to fix. And he went listen, tried to fix it, was driving the car. Lo and behold, he did not title the car all the way in his name. And I was in Atlanta. This was like 6-7 months later, right? I'm not even thinking about this car. You know what I'm saying? Like, what white car? You know what I mean? Like, the white car is gone. Like, I'm like, dude, I got my money out of it. I'm happy. Make some videos. You can look at some of the videos. And I'm like, I'm done with this car, right? Well, I'm up in Atlanta. I'm hanging out with my brother. I get a call on my cell phone. I'm like, hello, is there? And they're like, this is Tallahassee Police Department. I'm like, police department? What you calling me for, right? They're like, do you own a white Mercedes SLK 320 or whatever? I'm like, no, man, I sold that car. They're like, oh, okay, because that car's been in an accident. Oh, by FSU, by the university. I was like, oh, well, that's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I sold the car. It's not my car. Because I did not mail in that record of sale, and I didn't think about it, because the guy called me, because I'm out of town. I'm having fun with my brother. I'm like, I don't even care about this, right? And, you know, like a week goes by, the guy calls it, hey, man, you got another car? Another car? He said, yeah, I wrecked it. Yeah, I know you wrecked it. The police called me about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a good thing when the police call you about a car that you sold. You know what I'm saying? And that's better than an accident. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be liable for it. You know what I mean? So what ended up happening was, I guess the guy, like, ditched the car after he wrecked it. The police showed up, and they had it towed. And I'm thinking, well, it's, you know, this guy's issue. I've sold it to him, right? No. The DMV has no record of sale. So, I'm the one liable because it's still in my name. So, what happened was, I ended up getting a letter in the mail from the towing company about, you know, it's like $200-300 or whatever, you know, because they towed it. And I'm like, whatever, you know, I sold that car. It's not even my car. I'm not paying that bill, you know what I mean? I should have went ahead if I would have thought about it, you know what I mean? I didn't think about it being my car sale. When I got back from Atlanta, I probably could have picked up the car for like $85 or $100 or whatever. Got the car back and sold it for parts or whatever, you know what I mean? And made like another $500, but I wasn't thinking like that. So what happened is, if you look at the channel, man, I went and bought a 2019, you know, Chevy Equinox after I was driving my 2008 Dodge Nitro to Tampa, man. I was going to visit my buddy Dustin. It was his wife had passed. I was going to her funeral, and like the transmission was slipping. I'm like, dude, I'm not dealing with this, dude. I'm like, I'm about to go buy me a car. I'm done with all this. You know what I mean? That's why I bought an SUV, because I was like, I'm not about to drive to Tampa with a slipping transmission and try to drive from Tallahassee, Tampa down there, and then from Tampa back to Tallahassee and get stuck. Who gonna come get me, man? I'm too old for that, right? So, you know what I mean? In the middle of all this, I went down, visited my mom. I made it, thank God, with this Nitro. Then the next morning, I told my mom, like, I'm going to buy me a vehicle. I don't even care. I'm like, I'm going to buy one. I ain't got no money. I'm going to buy one. And I went to the Chevy dealership and I bought me an SUV. Then I took that SUV to the funeral, and that's what I brought back with me. So, you know, time goes on. And, you know, because I think they went ahead and put the tag on it, my tag on it, because my tag was still good. But when I paid for it, like the decal, my registration was still good, right? So what happened is, because it's like, I don't remember, it's like summer, you know, spring, summertime. So my birthday's like in November. I go to register this car, and I normally just go online, right? I go to the DMV website, I put in, you know, like it's got lists of all the cars I've ever had, like, you know what I mean? Because I you know, I've been buying, selling cars, and dude, I can't even register my new car I went and bought. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is going on? They're like, you got to call DMV or whatever, or come down to DMV. So I go down to DMV. They're like, hey, you got a lien on your registration. And I was like, lien? They're like, yeah, for a white Mercedes. I was like, it's got a towing bill. I was like, oh my Lord. So I ended up having to go to the towing yard that towed this white Mercedes, that I had sold this dude, and he wrecked it. He the one who wrecked it. But since I didn't have the record to sell, I had to go pay the towing company. I think it was like $300, something stupid. I was upset about that, but I paid it because I had to pay it to register my new car, because I was literally I think I got pulled over one time by the police because my registration was expired. I was like, I'm not dealing with this, man. I'm too old for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be legit. So I ended up going to tow yard, paying the money. And then I went back to the DMV and I showed that I had paid the towing bill. And I'm like, dude, y'all got that car? Like, I'm like wondering, like, it's my car, you know what I'm saying? They're like, nah, we've been sold at the pick and pool or whatever. I was like, shit, I could have got the car back for like $100 and I ain't thinking. So anyway, so I went to the DMV, you know, got my registration. But I was like, dude, it's so important whenever you are selling cars to make sure it's best to go down to DMV and do the transaction there. Do it all there. You know, it's done deal. They're going to help you. At least if you don't do it there, please turn in the bill of sale, turn in the record of sale. Make sure that it comes off of your DMV record that you sold the car. Because I had like 8 of them up there still. I had all kind of cars up. And I went and deleted all that now. Cause I was like, I didn't want none of that come back to bite me in the butt, man. Like, God forbid somebody go actually hurt somebody on the streets with some car I went and sold, you know what I'm saying? So it's a life lesson, man. Like, you know, a life lesson. And it's just one of those things. But, you know, this is just a little story I want to tell y'all about why it's so important to do your paperwork right when you buy and sell cars. Please do it right. You know what I mean? Don't be skipping titles and all that, man. Just do it right. Be legit, man. I try to be honest with people as much as possible. We ought to try to. And, you know, just go from there. So I do appreciate y'all watching the channel. And go from there. Thanks.